Okay, hello, grade 10. So this is the continuation of our lesson about optics. So last time we have discussed about reflection, and now we will be discussing about the ray diagramming for getting the image formed by concave and convex mirrors. So first we will go to the image formed by concave mirrors. Last time I did case number 1, but I'm going to repeat it again. Okay, so just remember the differences of SR1, SR2, SR3, and SR4. Okay, and then after that, we will be determining the magnification, orientation, location, and type of image. And so again, this is case number 1. So the object is behind the center of curvature. So I'm going to use again different colors. So red for SR1. So again, this is how you're going to put SR1. Parallel to the principal axis. And then for the incident ray, so that's for the incident ray, and then for the reflected ray, it should pass through the focal point. Next, for SR2, I'm going to use yellow. So let's start again. This is the opposite of SR1, passing through here. Okay, and then parallel to the axis. For SR3, I'm going to use green. Starting here again, passing through C. And yes, somehow it intersected. Then going back again. So it's right path. And then lastly, for SR4, I'm going to use color blue. And so I hope this works. I'm going to use a protractor on my screen so that I can get the same measurement for the angle at the top, not the bottom. And I wait. Okay. So let's have it here. It's going to the vertex. And then the angle between that is it is 10 degrees. So dapat 10 degrees din siya sa baba. Oh my, this is hard. If you're going to use a actual protractor. But yeah, somehow it works. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, all of the points have intersected. The reflected rays have intersected on a single point, and I'm going to use the color brown for that one. So again, to get the characteristic of the images, so let's just draw a line from the principal axis to the intersection. Yeah. So now we're going to determine the magnification, orientation, location, and type of image. So for the magnification, if we compare the brown arrow with the black arrow, it became smaller. So it is reduced or smaller. So it means that the image that you're going to see when the object is behind the center of curvature is that the image is going to be smaller. For the orientation, since it is found at the opposite side of the object, so as you can see, the object is upright, the image is inverted, so it means that the orientation is inverted. For the location, it is between the points C and F. And for the type of image, since the actual reflected rays are the ones that intersect, then it is a real image. Okay, so this is for case number 1 for concave mirrors when the object is found behind the center of curvature. Okay, now let us proceed to the second case. So for case number 2, we have an object at the center of curvature. So we'll be using the same colors for the different special rays. So again, red for SR1. So I'll just do it again. It's parallel. I hope it's parallel. And then passing through F. And the next for SR2, yellow. Okay. Okay. And then parallel. Yeah. And then actually we cannot use SR3. Why? Because SR3 is supposed to pass through the center of curvature. But since our object is found at the center of curvature, then we cannot really draw an incident ray that will go to the mirror but pass through C. So we will skip that one. So we will go and proceed to using SR4. So that's here. So the angle between that is 10, 11, and 10, 11 degrees. So let's see if we can put 11 degrees here. Okay, 10, 11, and okay. Okay, tama na. So now let us draw the image by using a brown arrow. So it stops here. And dito siya nag-intersect. So let's draw a line. And so that is our image. So now let's determine the MOLT. So for the magnification, let us compare the size of the brown arrow with the black, and it seems as if it's in the same size. Okay. For the orientation, again, it is inverted. For the location, it is found at C, at exactly the point of C. And then for the type of image, since again, it's the reflected rays are the ones that intersect, then it is a real image. Okay. Next, let us go to case number 3. So for case number 3, our object is found between C and F. So let us draw again our SR1. Passing through F. And then SR2. I hope it's parallel. Then SR3. As for SR3, we know that the center of curvature is behind. So what we have to do is, this should actually be a broken line, but I don't know how to use broken lines here in Zoom. So let's just see what we can do. And so there should be an imaginary line from C to the point where we have this one, and then it has to continue. Why are we starting from C? It's because if you draw an imaginary line from C to the point of the tip of the object, then it will appear as if it will come from the point of the center of curvature. And then when it bounces back, it's just going to pass through. So let's just have a line. And so line lang tayo. So dapat may line tayo hanggang dito. And then we should continue that one until here. So this should be the broken line. Okay. Kaya ko naman ata gawa ng broken line dito sa Zoom. It's hard, but imagine that this should be straight, you know. Basta broken line dapat yan. There's no broken line here in Zoom. And then let's just draw a line from that one to here. And then going back. Ayan, dapat dito lang siya pantay. Anyway, I'm just going to draw a line here from there. So it's going to reflect and then go back here. And so hindi sila nag-intersect ng maayos. Ang hirap nilang pag-intersect. And let's go to the SR4. Okay. And so our angle here is it is 15. Okay, so 10, 15, and okay, we're at 15. Okay. So majority of the lines of the reflected rays intersected here. So let's do that one. So our image is found here. So hindi pa pantay. So yeah, that's our image. So let us determine MOLT. For the magnification, as we all know, it's certainly larger than the image. For the orientation, it's still inverted. For the location, it is behind C. And then for the type of image, it's still real. Okay? And so this is for our case number 3 between C and F. Now let's go to case number 4, which is the object is found at the principal focus. So let's draw again. Okay, we will have this parallel line there passing through F. I think that's where. Next, for SR2, we cannot actually use SR2 because our object is found at F, and we cannot draw a we cannot draw an incident ray that will go to the mirror that will pass through F. So we will skip SR2 and then we'll go with SR3. So SR3 is again will pass through C and then going back again. So I'll just draw it like this and then back again. And then let's draw SR4. That will go to the vertex. So the angle for this one is, it's 21, 22, wait lang, I cannot see it. 20, 21, 22, 23, or 23, 24. So let's do that one, 24. You know, I'd prefer to do this one on paper or on the blackboard. It's easier in that way. Ayan. I think, yeah, that's right. Okay, so let us see. Did our reflected rays intersect? Does it intersect? No, it doesn't. So it means that, di ba, we only have an image if the reflected rays intersect. But since in this case, they don't intersect, then we have no image. Okay, so no image is formed if our object is found at the principal focus. Okay? Okay, let's go to the last case. For this one, we have our object between F and V. So let us do our special rays. Okay, this one's here. Passing through F. SR2. We can actually use SR2 right now. So we should just connect F with this one. And so there should actually be an imaginary line between them. And then that should actually be a broken line, but I don't know how to make broken lines here in Zoom na pantay. Pero for visualization, ayan, should be like that. And then for our reflected ray, it should be parallel. As you can see, it doesn't intersect, but we will do something later. Then for the SR3, should pass through here. And then back. And then for SR4, okay, so the angle between them The principal axis and the incident ray is exactly 30 degrees. Okay, so let's have exactly 30. And this, what are we going to do? They don't intersect. The reflected rays don't intersect. So what we can do is the reflected rays can have an extension. So in this case, I'm going to use a line without an arrowhead. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend the reflected rays at the opposite end, which is behind the mirror. Okay, so let's use red for diretso, di ba? I think I'll just start here. And then let's make it pantay. Let's extend it as far as possible. I think okay na yun. And then for the yellow, hindi siya pantay. Ayan. Okay, somehow medyo pantay. Yeah, like that. So, nag-intersect sila there. Yes, for SR3. Okay. So, somehow medyo dito banda si SR3. Habang pantay. Okay, so this is the limitations in Zoom. Anyway, but it's close. And then for SR4, ayan. So I think majority of the extended lines intersected here at this point. So let's draw our image there. Okay, I think right here. And so all of the extended lines are not actually reflected rays. They should be broken lines. Okay, again, they should be broken lines, but because of the limitations here in Zoom, I cannot do broken lines. So this is where our image is found. Okay, so now let us determine the magnification and everything. Okay, so for the magnification, as we all see, it is the image is larger than the object, so it is larger. For the orientation, it's upright. It has the same orientation. For the MOL. So for the location, it is behind the mirror or behind behind the mirror. And for the type of image, so this is the first time that our intersected lines are not our intersecting lines are found in a place where light is not found because our light is found on the left side, not on the right side. So in this case, we have a virtual image. Okay? And so this is all for the cases in concave mirrors. And so let's just look at the summary of this one. And so this is the summary for the images formed by concave mirrors. So for behind C, we have a smaller magnification, an inverted image orientation. It's found between C and F, and it has a real image. For C, we have the same magnification. It's still inverted. It's found at C, and it's still real. For the object that is found between C and F, it have a larger magnification. The image is still inverted, and the object is found behind C or before C, and we still have a real image. When the object is found at the focal point, we have no image formed. And if we have our object found between F and B, then we have a larger magnification, and the orientation is changed, it's become upright, and the location is after V or behind the mirror. And since this time, the intersected rays are not the actual reflected rays where light is found, then we have a virtual type of image. Okay? So now let us go to the image formation by convex mirrors. So we only have one case for this one. And so let's do this one. Okay, so for SR1, and so we are going to start here. And then we have to make sure that it intersects with F. Okay, let's just use a, well actually light is not going to pass through there, so I'm going to just use a single line without an arrowhead. So this should be a broken line. And then what we're going to do is we're going to extend this one. So our reflected ray is still going to intersect with F because it will appear as if it comes from F. Okay, I'm mali. We should be using an arrowhead here because it is a reflected ray. Ayan. So, mukha naman pantay na. Ayan. So, next, let us do SR2. So, for SR2, it should go to F. So, what we're going to do is, I think let's just use a line first as a reference. So, it should come here. So, what we're doing is that we are connecting the tip of the object with F. But in reality, our reflected ray is going to stop until here in the mirror. Hanggang dito lang siya sa mirror. Okay? So it will appear as if the incident ray is going towards F. So that's why we are still we still have the premise that the incident ray is passing through or intersecting with F. And then our reflected ray is parallel to the principal axis. Next, for SR3, this one's also the same. It has to intersect with C. So let's draw a line first to connect these two. And so again, in this case, the reflected ray is going to stop at the mirror right until here only. Ayan. And then it will go back. And then for SR4, it's just the same. Going to the vertex. Let's measure the angle. So this one has 21 degrees. It's not 21. Okay. So what we have here is that our reflected rays are diverging because we all know that a convex mirror is a diverging mirror wherein it separates all the reflected rays. So we'll just repeat what we did earlier with case number 5, wherein we just extended the reflected rays at the other side and then we'll use that intersection. So we all know that in this case, we will have a virtual image because the image is going to be formed at the back of the mirror where the extension of the reflected rays are found. So this red line here is the extension of the reflected ray for SR1. Let's draw the extension for SR2. So SR2 is parallel to the principal axis. Hindi na naman siya pantay. Ayan. So, this is as far as I can go. I think that's parallel. So as you can see, for SR3, we have already extended the reflected ray and it is intersected here. Let's just do SR4. Ayan. Pantay na naman siya. And so it has intersected here. Okay, so let us draw our image. Okay, so we have it here. It's really small. There. So let's look for the magnification and everything. So as we can see, it is smaller. And for our orientation, it's the same orientation, upright. For the location, wherever you place your object, it's going to form the image behind the mirror. And for the type of image, regardless where you put it, it's going to form regardless where you put the object, near or far from the mirror, it's going to always produce a virtual image. Okay, so this is for our convex mirror, which has only one case. Only one case. Yeah. So, next, we only have one case for convex mirror, and that is this one. So this is a summary for the images formed by convex mirrors. So we only have one case, it's everything in front of the mirror. The magnification will always be smaller. The object will always produce an upright image. The image is formed behind the mirror and the type of image is always virtual. But there is a relationship between the distance from the mirror and the image form. And as you can see, as the object goes closer to the mirror or the convex mirror, the image becomes larger. Okay? So that's the only thing that you need to take note in convex mirrors. Okay? So that's it for our lesson. I'm sorry it took so long because it was really hard to do it at Zoom. I really prefer to do this one using a chalk and a ruler and a protractor and a compass and everything. But this is this is what we can do right now. Yeah. So anyway, and so on Monday, we will have our continuation about reflection. Okay? So that's it. Thank you for listening and have a great day, Vaden. Goodbye.